And good afternoon and welcome back to the West Ham Network. I am Anton, bringing to you our West Ham Daily for today. It's a massive week again in the West Ham calendar as we take on European football against Leeds at home. Buzzing that game, can't wait. Hopefully there'll be an atmosphere. Hopefully we can emulate even remotely as close to the atmosphere that we huge. Get your comments in and let us know your thoughts ahead of such an important week and off the back of a very good victory against Everton, a professional performance against Everton. We did do our highlights show straight after the game. I know Russ came on yesterday and did a kind of match day debrief, which is something we do moving forward. After every game, the day after the game, and we give you the player ratings, etc. But for me, it's a professional performance. It's a performance when you need it the most. It may not be the most beautiful to look at performance, but it's a job done. It's a professional performance. Let's go and get the job done. Let's build the momentum. Let's have the confidence going into the Lyon game and also going into the rest of the games moving forward as we go through the season. Because you know what? Like I said, and like the title says, that the race for the top four is absolutely heating up, big style, absolutely heating up like you wouldn't believe. And it's good to think that we're even there and remotely there in terms of, you know, just sitting and trying to stay and clutch on and it's wide open. The whole thing is wide open. I'm going to jump into the chat, see who's kicking about. And we'll then get started on today's show as well. So let me come all the way back up to the top. Hammerette, you're in. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you enjoyed the game. Hope your throat's recovered. You don't remember speaking to me, but I did speak to you as well. So live from the Supporters Club, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see you again this Thursday. Crosshammer, hi, Happy and everyone. 2 days to go. Come on, you Irons. Hi, Happy Hammerette from Ludders. Good to see you too. WHUFC in the house. Just getting your voice back just in time for Thursday, just in time to lose it again when you wake up on Friday morning. Darren Higgins is in the house. Hope you're well, mate. Good to see you too. Peter Jones, you're there. Good to see you. You're all talking to each other. Lovely to see. Gaza's in the house. I love it. Do you know what? It's such a nice community, isn't it? Such a nice family community. Crosshammer, good to see you, mate. Bosh. Green Street Elites from Budgie Boy. Afternoon, Anton. Afternoon, chatty people. If anyone's interested, go and check out Green Street Elites channel. They're on YouTube. Just go and click the subscribe button and go and see the content that Budgie puts out as well. Happy Emirates says she's of course recovered. Dread to think what I sounded like on the stream. Just have a little look back and see. It's your second official appearance on the channel, but it's all good. Happy Emirates. Antonio, what a big game come in the week for him as well. Gaza, I'm fine, thanks. Hope you are too. Palace, great result for them, absolutely, but it's a great result for us. The performance that they put out is just, the top four just never ceases to amaze me because it's just wide open. And we're going to go through some of the remaining fixtures that we've got coming up for the rest of the season. Green Street Elite says, don't forget to like. So if you are new around here, please don't forget to like the channel. You know what? Like, there's plenty of people watching. If you can hit that thumbs up, it really does help us out. If you are new around here, go and hit that subscribe button as well. Let me just quickly jump that comment off there. Hit that subscribe button, and beside that there's a little bell notification. If you hit that bell notification, that will then notify you when our shows go live as well. Look, Legends in the house, good to see you, mate. Good to see you. I remember, can't watch it though. Listen, it's all good and fun and giggles. That's what it's all about. Good to see you live on the YouTube. Are we going to officially meet, Budgie? Are we going to officially meet? So tell me, are you going to the Supporters Club first? Let me know. And if you are, we'll try and arrange an official meeting as well, which will be cool. I'm looking forward to that. Peter Jones says, just got a phone call, catches later. No worries, Peter. I'm on a time scale as well. I'm on my lunch through work, so I will have to go back as well. Rob Yates is saying, I reckon realistically we'll finish fifth. I'll take another Europa spot. We may even win the current Europa League tournament we're in. Come on, you Irons. Keep the content coming. And I really appreciate it. And listen, we do appreciate it. All the support that you guys are giving us as well. So looking forward to Thursday. Absolutely buzzing. Fingers crossed we can get a result. That's the main thing here. I did one of those predictor websites. We finished sixth. Spurs get fourth. Gutted. When is the tripod due date? When is the tripod due date? What? I will drag you everywhere on Thursday, Budgie. I think the top four is out of reach now. It's a must, Anton. I'll PM you number 2. Absolutely, please do that, mate, and we'll get a catch up as we go along. But let's get into today's show. There are 4 Champions League, a Europa League, and a Europa Conference League place up for grab, with another Europa League spot opening up if anyone but Crystal Palace win the FA Cup. Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, Man United, and perhaps West Ham are all vying for the 2 remaining much prized Champion League spots, with Wolves also in the mix for a top 7 finish. The race for the Premier League's 4th and final Champions League spot looks set to go to the wire, with just 3 points separating Spurs in 4th and Manchester United in 7th place. So let's get into it. Spurs, 5-1 thumping of Newcastle, and Arsenal being torn a whole new one against Crystal Palace last night after getting defeated 3-0. West Ham's 2-1 victory over Everton saw us leapfrog Manchester United into 5th after Man United were held to a 1-1 draw at home by Leicester on Saturday. And there's going to be plenty of twists and turns to come over the next few weeks. Absolutely. So let's take a look at the key fixtures that are likely to play a big part in which side secures the premier of European club football competitions next season. So the next, let me just get this slide up for you while I'm here. The next chapter of the ever-feisty North London derby has acquired additional competitive significance this year thanks to the battle for 4th place. The original fixture for this game was mid-January, but it was postponed after the Arsenal squad was left bare by COVID, injuries, suspensions, and African Cup of Nations commitments. And let's be honest, it was a ridiculous decision for that to even actually be done in the first place. But the game is now getting played on Thursday, the 12th of May, and that is the key date for this fixture. What is certain is that that match will play a big role on where both teams finish, but not just those two, both teams. The pair are tied on points, and their goal difference is in Spurs' favour by only a few, though, and Arsenal do have 1 game in hand. So let's look further into their fixtures. You can see here they've got Brighton at home, Southampton away, Chelsea away, Man United at home, West Ham, of course, away, Leeds at home, Spurs away, Newcastle away, and Everton at home. But key fixtures you can see from all of these ones are the Man United game coming up, followed by the West Ham away game, Spurs away, and then you've got the Everton, team that are fighting for their life down at the bottom of the last game of the season. 3 massive fixtures here, which can absolutely change the whole dynamics of the season. I don't like to push, say, the Brighton and the Southampton games aside, because they're going to be tough games. Every game in the Premier League is a tough game for no matter who is playing. But what's that? Their Spurs playing Arsenal 3 games before the end of the season. Yeah, absolutely. But the key thing here for me is if you look at the Chelsea situation, like Chelsea, Man United, and West Ham, and if they don't pick up points, and we can somehow pick up some points, then it's open. It's wide open for everyone. I don't want to get carried away here with this, but if they do get, let's say they get a couple of victories over the next couple of games, and then on paper, if you're looking at these fixtures, their toughest ones on paper would be the Chelsea, Man United, West Ham game, and of course the Spurs game. That could just absolutely flip it. Points could be 6 points flipped in either direction for Spurs, for West Ham, for Arsenal as well. So it does make for interesting reading. Of course, Spurs thrashing of Newcastle typified their threat in front of goal. No Premier League side has scored more goals in 2022 than their 30 that they've scored, and Arsenal will have to figure out how to contain them if they're to take anything away from that game. The Arsenal and Spurs game is one of the most vital games in this race, but add to that the West Ham game and the Man United game. It's ridiculous. Spurs have questionably hit form at the right time after a slow start to the season, and they seem to have found their groove under Conte. So let's take a look at the fixtures that they have going into their run-in as well. And as you can see here, they've got Aston Villa as their next game away from home. We all know that if Aston Villa, who haven't been on a bit of form recently, but can click into gear, and we're hoping that Aston Villa, the other boys in Claret and Blue, will do West Ham a favour. Brighton, as you'll see, there'll be a regular feature here where you'll start to see that Brighton feature in a lot of these games. Brighton are a good footballing team, so that will make it interesting. Brentford, they're always tough. West Ham have got Brentford coming up next as well. But then you come into the games. Liverpool, how big game is that? Liverpool chasing for the top 2 to try and win the Premier League. What a huge game that's going to be in the race for the title and the race for the top four, followed by the Arsenal game, which we've mentioned. Newcastle again fighting for their lives at the bottom alongside Everton. That makes for interesting reading as well. But you know what? With just one win from the last 6 in the league, Manchester United are far from favourites to clinch the final Champions League spot, especially after their dreary 1-1 draw at home to Leicester on Saturday. And they'll not be fancied on their visit to Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool side on, and I think they take place, is it on the 19th of April? Let me just bring up Man United's fixtures here as well. And what a crazy run-in that they've all got alongside that. Away to Everton on the 9th of April. They've got a home match at Norwich City on the 16th of April. And Man United's men have a great opportunity to get 6 points under the belt and build some much-needed momentum after playing, if you take into consideration the Everton and Norwich game as well. You know, Man United will be looking at those next 2 games and wanting to take a maximum of 6 points, because then after that, they've got Liverpool, they've got Arsenal, and again, the whole thing's wide open. Brentford, Brighton, as you can see, featuring again a team that's pretty much going to be heavily involved in the top 6, top 7 when we move forward for the rest of the season. So, you know, it does add a memorable Merseyside performance to 2 wins in those games, which might be hard, you know, hard to constitute in your head. But Man United could, if they got something from the next 3 games, if they pulled out 7 points, you could easily say they could be one of the favourites to try and go ahead and get that final 4 push. But the clash with United comes 3 days after the visit to 3rd placed Chelsea. And that fixture has in recent seasons had a little bit of competitive significance as the two sides mid-2000s glory days. Of late, though, a little of the edge and verve has returned to the rivalry, although it remains to be seen who can play the imposing winners in that game when it comes to Crystal Palace. I mean, look at Crystal Palace's performance against Manchester United, Arsenal last night. They've become huge in the mix-up. You know, they've been performing really well under Vieira, and you know what, you're looking at Crystal Palace and thinking, go on, you can go and do West Ham a favour as well. That would be huge. David Moyes, though, and our beloved West Ham have been the surprise package, you could say, of the Premier League this season. Let me bring up those fixtures for you, our remaining fixtures that we've got. Rising above all expectations to become real contenders for a Champions League finish and enjoy a stellar run in the Europa League, as we all know. Spurs, Arsenal, and Man United all have games in hand on us, but it'd be unwise to write us off. For so long, a picture of disunity and discontent the club and its supporters have gone through around the team. Moyes has built something here at West Ham that we can be really proud of. And I suppose you could say one of the real aces in our sleeves, up our sleeves, is our fixture list. If you look at it on paper, but we have to be very mindful of things on paper. We've got Brentford next. We also play Burnley, Norwich, and Brighton. Again, Brighton back in the fold with everyone's, you know, being involved with all these games as well. All of which will be viewed as winnable games. But the clash with Arsenal is a real 6-pointer of a game, and this is the kind of game that could, you know, leave either team's fate in our hands. What an opportunity! What? I mean, let's dissect these fixtures a little bit. Brentford, on paper, away from home, tough to go to. Look at the performances they've been putting out. Ivan Toney firing on all cylinders. It's always going to be a tough game. We can never write off Burnley, but I'm talking about on paper here. You would hope that West Ham can turn up and do a job on the day. But the biggest reason here is we have to respect our opponents. If we don't respect our opponents, then hey-ho, that's when West Ham start to falter. But if you've got Brentford, Burnley, and Norwich and Brighton as on paper, the winnable games, and if you look on paper as against Chelsea, Arsenal, and Man City as the non-winnable games, that's 12 more points. What do you expect from our remaining fixtures for the run-in in the Premier League? So here's the next question I'm going to ask you. I'm going to get you involved now. Taking into consideration that West Ham have 7 Premier League games to go, how many more points will West Ham get? I'm going to put that in the chat. How many more points will West Ham get? Then we'll ask you for your predictions and we'll add that to the points tally right now, and we'll see where we are moving forward with the rest of the draw. Let's look at Manchester United's remaining fixtures. They've got 8 games to go. How many points do you think Manchester United will get? Many points. Let me put that in. Points. Will Man United get? There you go. So tough fixtures there. Everton away. Everyone always, at the end of the day, Everton didn't give us a fantastic performance the other day, but they are, more than capable of turning up on their day. Everton are as well. So, but I think Man United would be hoping for 6 points over the next 2 games, and then I don't know, a defeat against Liverpool, maybe a draw against Arsenal. You could see maybe a draw against Brentford, maybe a draw against Brighton. It's really tough to see, isn't it? Really, really tough to see. Let's look at Arsenal's fixtures. They've got 9 remaining fixtures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. It is a new record, David M. I'm going to go through the comments as well. Apparently, it's a new record of most wins at the London Stadium. It is 14 wins this season as well. So how many points do you reckon Arsenal will get for the rest of the season? How many points will Arsenal get? There you go. You can all put the comments in and let us know. But again, Brighton, they're going to feature against pretty much most of the teams in this top kind of 6-7 race. Southampton, Chelsea's going to be a tough game. London derby, Man United, as we know. West Ham, another London derby. Leeds, Spurs. Leeds have got a point to prove, I suppose, and they're not necessarily safe yet. You'd think at that point they would be safe. The Spurs game is going to be vital as part of this fixture list as well. And then there's Spurs remaining games. How many points will Spurs get? There you go. Aston Villa, like we all know what they're capable of doing. Brighton at home, Brentford away, Leicester, Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle, Everton. The last 5 games, really, really, really tough fixtures to go from as well. Now, there is one team that I have missed, and this is Wolves, who are kind of sneaking up in the background. You know what? They're only a couple of points off of this position. They could sneak into the position at the last minute. They could come in and do a job. They're currently sitting on 49 points. They're on equal games with West Ham, 2 points behind West Ham and Manchester United. And like I said earlier on, only 3 points separate Spurs to Manchester United, 5 points separating Spurs all the way down to 8th place Wolves as well. And I think you could what would you say there about their running? Newcastle away, it's going to be a tough fixture. Man City at home is always a tough fixture. Burnley, Brighton, potential winnable games, you could say. Chelsea away, Norwich at home, a winnable game. Liverpool away as well on the last day of the season. So as you can see here, Brighton featuring on every single team's fixtures come into the end of the season. So Brighton could be the ones that are pivotal as to who finishes where come the end of the season. Let me jump into the chat and see what everyone is saying. Where are we? I've got a new setup around my computer, and I'm still getting used to it because I usually have 3 screens actually, but I've had to move one down and put one to the side, and it's really tough jumping between the screens. So apologies if I'm kind of a bit jumpy just now as well. Let's see where we are. Is this where I got to? Adam Cook, you're in the house. Hopefully, good to see you, mate. Happy Emirates says Chelsea v Brentford. I know Brentford, what a result for them. And Ericsson has just turned up and done a job, and he's doing it week in and week out, and he's doing it for the country as well. He's came back. What a player. What a baller. Be interesting to see where he ends up coming the end of the season, because I'm not sure will he stay at Brentford. You're hearing a lot of talk about the relationship that him and Conte had at Spurs, so I wonder if there would be something in that as well. Adam Cook's in the house. Hope you are well. Bonnie is saying, when we beat Lyon, does the Barcelona or Frankfurt games take more importance than the league? I would rest the first team in the league if we get semi-final in Europe. Bonnie, it doesn't work. Moy's head doesn't work that way, because he constantly talks about momentum and consistency. So he's going to want that consistency moving forward as we go along into all the games. So, I think we were surprised at the inclusion of Jared Bowen in the game against Everton. He made the right decision to bring him off after a certain amount of time. But Moyes shows you that he said the bread and butter is the league, but he also talks about that consistency. So winning that game against Everton, albeit it wasn't the best of performances, it wasn't the worst of performances, it's going to do West Ham good going into the Lyon game as well. It doesn't mean, I mean, listen, it's if we did get through this quarterfinal and we got through to the semi-finals, I'm not remotely trying to downplay that at all. Absolutely not. But Moyes, I can't see him completely switching it up because it's not good for the mindset. Doesn't matter what players are playing. If we don't win the game, he's going to go all out pretty much, I think, for most things. Let's just win all of our remaining games, and who knows, it's been a great season anyway. Anyone who is disappointed with the season is deluded. Gary, you're right, mate. You're so right. And that's the thing. You can actually see we're still in contention, and we're in April now. We're in contention for trying to get a Champions League spot from the league in its own right, let alone having the Europa League as a backup option, if you want to call it the backup option to qualify for the Champions League. But we're talking about we're in the quarterfinals of the Europa League, formerly known as UEFA Cup. I can't even begin to imagine if we got further into this tournament. Wally World, I just want to beat Arsenal, then we'll have to beat all the big six this year. When we always blow it when it matters, losing the 2006 FA Cup. But let's hope, though, Paul, that things have changed in the mindset, that David Moyes has changed the mindset, because you can't deny that the consistency we're having over the last 2 seasons outweighs what we've done over the last couple of decades, you could say. And we have as well. So, WHUFC, what's gone wrong with Chelsea? Who cares? Absolutely. Luke Legend is saying Spurs fixtures looks the easiest, don't they? Let's bring them back up for everyone to see. Aston Villa, Brighton, Brentford, Leicester, Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle, Everton. I suppose you could say on paper they do. They've had the favourable fixtures piled upon them, but there are tough games there. And the thing is, we know the season just doesn't go as simple as what we imagine. But we'll have to wait and see what the outcome of this is. Happy Amaret, can I please just clarify that it was Daniela Stewart who was pinching Russ's bum at the Supporters Club? I wouldn't do that. We get to clear my name when I see her next. No worries. If we don't beat Brighton when we play them, then we'll be so disappointed. That's the thing. And it's time to turn the voodoo around, because we've not got a great record against Brighton in the Premier League. So it's an opportunity for West Ham to do it, especially the last game of the season. Let's hope that we've done something before that, like we've kind of secured our position in the league, that we don't have to maybe rely ideally on those last 2 games, but I can't help but think that we will have to rely on them 100%. Precisely not looking forward to Brentford Sunday though, but who knows. Manolis, happy. Hope you're well. Hello there. Good to see you. Helen Ludders, more worried about the Brentford game on Sunday. They smashed Chelsea. They did. But we also have to have the confidence going into the game, because look where we are in the league. That's the thing. I am worried about all these performances. I'm worried about all these games. I mean, we can't underestimate the likes of, you can't underestimate anyone in the Premier League. We know our history. You know, we know what Burnley can do when they turn up. They've not been performing well, but they're fighting for their lives. And we can't underestimate that either. So we just have to respect our opponents and turn up and do the job that we can do. If we turn up and do a half-arsed job, not a half-arsed job, but just do a professional performance, we can beat anyone really on our day. But if we can up our game and play well alongside that, then I am confident going into those games as well. Lucas saying, Man United, sheesh, what a squad. Talk about underperforming. Absolutely. And look at the money that's been spent. Happy Amaret, look at the serious issues within the squad. 100%, loads and loads of issues they've got there. And it seems to be, I suppose you could say, a poison chalice for a manager going in there. But let's hope that we can reap the benefits of the issues that are happening at Manchester United by hopefully bringing in the likes of Lingard. And could you imagine we had a statement of intent by bringing in someone like Marcus Rashford? But that's my opinion. I know not everyone else thinks the same as well. Yes, we have never beaten them in the Premiership, but what a year to change that around. I'm telling you now, and know for a fact, Moyes is like, this needs to change. We need to get rid of that voodoo. That needs to be changed. Manure wasted loads of money, but who cares about them anyway? Gaza, 100%. How great is it to be in the mix? West Ham do not get any credit whatsoever in the media. Consider the fact that West Ham do not spend so much on this team, while the others spend loads. David, you're completely right, mate. And I tell you something as well, what I will say on this one is I'm not bothered that if we don't get the credit in the media. I would rather us go under the radar and get to where we're getting to on merit, and then for the media to go, I underestimated them. It's a bit like where you're starting to hear a lot of pundits coming out now going, I've underestimated Declan Rice, because they're starting to see him on a more regular occasion, and they're now understanding what we've known for years of the quality of Declan Rice. And people are underestimating David Moyes and what he's worked with and the budget he's worked with. and the players he's worked with and the squad that he's worked with. And if we can do something, and even if we don't do something come the end of the season, they need to look back at this and go, wow, what an achievement you've actually got as well. Palace beat Spuds at the start of the season 2-3-0. They absolutely did. Brighton can't score for love or money. That would, but money, that would be us. We can't beat them, absolutely, but we just have to get that voodoo out of our head and turn up as well. WHUFC manures, players don't understand the meaning of work ethic or pressing. And Neil's saying in April and still 2 routes into the Champions League. Who would have thought? Huge achievement, mate. Absolutely huge achievement. Manure are just full of egos, and we don't like those egos. Absolutely not. A draw versus Brighton, we just can't win them. But then the thing is, you know what? If you bring West Ham's fixtures up here, and I think I'm going to come down to the moment when you actually predict it here. You know, let's kind of err on the side of caution then when we predict these points. Because normally I'm a half glass full West Ham fan. But let's say we go to Brentford and we take a draw. There's a point. We play at home against Burnley. We get 3. That's 4 points over the next 2. Chelsea's going to be a tough game, but they're struggling. I think we could get a draw from them away from home. So there's 5, okay? There's 5 points in the next 3 games. Arsenal at home, I would really expect that we could go there and get a victory. And that would take us to 8 points. Norwich away, 3 points, 11. I'd give us 11 points there. Man City at home, I just don't think we can do the job. I really don't know if we can. Man City seem to be too strong with the squad that they've got. And then Brighton with, I would say, 3 if we can turn over that voodoo. And that's a further 14 points onto the tally that we've currently got. And if we did get that, we'd finish on 65 points. I've got West Ham on 65 points based upon those fixtures there. Mandy, Adam Cook is saying, Manure, just a team of individuals. They're like headless chickens. We can't get top 6 and give Man United the Con League. Crosshammer says we could get 12 points, I reckon, with 4 wins and 3 losses. Hopefully more, though. Absolutely. Money, Man United just throw money around like confetti. Manure equals entitlement mentality. Absolutely. Jamie Reid says 21 easy. Wow, you're going all out, mate. You're going all out. Gary Page, you're saying 21 as well. Gary Page, you think Man United will get 12. So if Man United get 12, that means they finish on 63 points from their remaining games. So you've predicted that West Ham will finish above Manchester United for the taken into consideration for the remaining games. I agree. I think 13-14 could be a realistic target for us. It is a new record. As we know, we won't beat City and them toe-to-toe with Liverpool. But you never know. West Ham have done it before in the past. West Ham have stepped up to the plate. Could you imagine that? Imagine that. We beat Man City the second last game of the season, push ourselves into 4th position of the Premier League, and we've got a game spare and we've qualified for the Champions League and we've lost Man City the title. I mean, how ridiculous of a thing is that to think of, but it could actually happen. Adam Cook says, I think we can get 15 points when you will get 11. Green Street Elites is saying we're going to get 14. I agree with you. 65 points that would put West Ham on as well. Gary Page is saying Arsenal will get 18. So if Arsenal get 18, that would put them on to 72 points as well. And that obviously would really probably knock us out of that crosshammer. 10 is that West Ham or Spurs. Paul Parkinson says 6 points, never beat Norwich, Brighton, Arsenal, or Man City. They want to win the Premier League. We finished on 64 points last season, I think. We need 14 more points from 7 games to do better. Absolutely, mate. We do. Yep. We absolutely do. Gary Page says Spurs will get 12 points. So if they get 12 points, they will finish on 66 points. So we need to better that. 66 points, which means we would need a further 17 points to beat Spurs to go up to the top 12. If we had a bigger squad at the start of the season, we would have been doing much better. Happy Amaret says Arsenal will get 12 points. Are you ready for this then? So Arsenal to get 12 points makes them on 66. Spurs would then get 10 points, would mean they would be on 64. Man United to get 9, they would be on 60. And West Ham to get 14 would put us on to 65 points, which means it would go down to goal difference then, I think it is, between West Ham and Arsenal for you there. Gary Page thinks Wolves will get 9 more points. Acid Joke is saying, I'm thinking 15 more points for us, with Man United getting 12, Arsenal 14. which would knock us out of the Champions League spot. Wolves 12, but Spurs look like getting 15 or so, unfortunately, which would put us into 6th position as well. I'm so excited about this transfer window already. I am as well, and I've got the faith that we're going to go and invest in the team and bring it on as well. Arsenal will get 13 and Spurs will get 14, but you can't tell the game to game. That's why Premier League is the best in the world. Anton, can you put the remaining West Ham fixtures list on the screen in the corner? There you go. Let's see if I can do that. Is that what you want there? There you go. Manure, like their name, are delighted if they think Rice would go there. Only City or Chelsea, but in a year's time, as the deck won't go anywhere before the World Cup. I'm late, everybody. Hope you're well, Black Country Hammer. Come on, peeps. 74 watching, only 17 likes. Get those thumbs up. If you love West Ham, Moyes is worried about playing Bowen on Sunday, but he obviously wasn't worried enough, you know. Toby Sampson's in the house. Good to see you, mate. Hope you are well. Tobes, all talking to each other. I love it. Long times no see, Tobes. You good? 4th is long gone, mate. You never know. You never know. I'm just saying it's all wide open down there. We're seeing results coming out of the sky. You know, you can't really pick out a result right now, and things could just take such a drastic decision. Just look at the Crystal Palace result last night against a, you know, kind of confident Arsenal side as well. Nobody really would have expected that, but I suppose if you're thinking about a team that would step up to the mark, Crystal Palace certainly have, and done West Ham a favour and done every team down there a favour as well. If we would have strengthened in January, where would we have been? Interesting point, but very, very true. Players love to play every game, and we can get better. Like at the beginning of the season, we haven't hit that level since. Let's all hope we can do it. But you're so right, Adam. We haven't actually hit that level since the beginning of the season. So if we can, anything can go. You know, 7-game unbeaten run. Who's up for that? I'll take that right now. Yeah, Crosshammer. Yeah, I've been in and out, spanning it, got a new job. It's all systems go. Hope you're all well, though. That's the main thing. Gary, no point keep looking back. This window will be mental freebies and a few decent signings. And the thing is, there's plenty of nice and good players available on a free as well that I think we will probably utilise and bring in. Brentford, Burnley, Chelsea, Arsenal, Norwich, Man City, Brighton. I think that's you talking about our fixtures. I wonder if Moyes will bring in a striker. I think he will. I can see us getting 8 points. That will leave us 7th or 8th. West Ham finishing 7th or 8th and challenging for Europa League. Would you take that? Only 8 points. I think Bowen will be firing on all cylinders now. I completely agree with you. Apart from Zuma, it's the same team as last season. If we buy players, unless they have Premier League experience, Moyes will not play them straight away. Guy Page says, did you see Benny begging to take the second free kick? I feel sorry for him. He loves this club. And I think the thing is, though, I think you could start to see the benefits. But Benny ain't going anywhere. I don't doubt for a second Benrahma's not leaving this club. Benrahma seems to have settled in at West Ham. And yeah, so I wouldn't really be worried about that one as such as well. Scott is saying, I can see points from Burnley, Norwich and Brighton. We're lucky to steal points off the others. There you go. Gaza, Crosshammer has answered that for you. WHUFC, has it been 40 odd years since we played in a major European competition? What an achievement in getting to the quarterfinals so far. Absolutely. Happy Amaret, Vlasic was warming up in the sidelines when Bowen scored. He ran onto the pitch jumping. Love to see that. You can totally see the way the players are mixing together. The squad is just there, and it's there to, you know, the squad mentality is really, really good at West Ham, and it's something that we love to see. Gaza going to be tough, but we owe Brentford one. Absolutely. Man United not worth talking about anyway. Live on the fantasy land, they do. I'm still not getting notifications. That's optimistic view, Anton. I can only hope, but we are West Ham. Absolutely, Scott. Absolutely. The only team I worry about is City. The rest we can beat or draw a couple at worst. But sometimes you find that West Ham rise better and challenge better against tougher opponents. So the bigger they come, the harder they fall. You never know. That's sometimes how I feel as well. We have to sing West Ham a massive game on Thursday. Love that. Freshfielder, hope you're well. Good to see you, mate. 21 points. What are you saying? West Ham are going to get 21 points from that? Love it. Love it, mate. Love it. Scott is saying none of the remaining games are easy. It'll be tough to finish with more than 60 points. If we do, that will be an excellent season. The current goal difference between West Ham and Arsenal is 1 in the favour of West Ham. There you go. West Ham have a 1 goal difference in favour of Arsenal. The atmosphere was very flat on Sunday. Need to get singing more. The only time it was noisy was when we scored, Ludders. Absolutely. There you go. Us plus 11, Arsenal plus 10. What will be will be just higher than Spurs will do. Absolutely. I feel, and you know what? If we get higher than Spurs, I feel like that could be a top 4 position. David Emerson, I said it before and I say it again, West Ham to lose 2 captains. I cannot see it. I completely agree with you as well. Paul says Liverpool want Rice. He will go in the summer. No, he won't. He'll be fine. Win all 7 Champions League. Here we come. Bearing in mind, I'm a short arse. I can't keep him told to sit down at the ground. Rice is going nowhere, Paul. Completely agree with you. Liverpool won't pay the money for Rice. They'll pay 100 million more. They're too tight. Absolutely. Scott R is saying that was Benny's most complete game of his West Ham career. It looked like he'd spent the break training and defence and positioning. Absolutely. Happy Emirates says, I can see us beating Burnley, Chelsea, Norwich and Brighton with a draw against Brentford and Arsenal and losing to City. Jazza saying start Vlasic, Yarmolenko and Lanzini versus Brentford, who won't feature on Thursday. Absolutely. Start, yeah. Versus Brentford, who won't feature on Thursday. Yep. Well, we'll have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. A double over Chelsea this season would be fantastic. Have faith in the Hammers, 100%. How typical would it be for West Ham to get 3 points from all the so-called bigger teams and then get none from the rest? Very typical West Ham. So what you're saying there is Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, we get 9 points and get nothing else from the rest. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see. Spurs are due a dip now, surely. Well, we'll have to wait and see that as well. But there you go. The Champions League spots are wide open. Every team from Spurs sit in 4th place, Arsenal in 5th place, West Ham in 6th place, Manchester United in 7th place, and Wolves in 8th place stand a chance to qualify for the top 4. But the thing is, it is wide open because loads of teams play each other and it's going to go down to the wire 100%. David M is saying, what's your view, Anton, on Benrahma game? He lost the ball, but he tracked back. I thought his creativity was very good. I thought his final balls weren't that great. And I thought his tracking back was very good. So his all-round team performance was great. We just need to bring this all together, bring this mix all together, and we're going to get the Benrahma that we know is capable of turning up on his day. The thing is, I think if Benrahma stays this summer, and depending on who we bring in, depending on who West Ham bring in, is going to really define how his career goes, because I actually think he might kick on into the next season. Now, I don't think we'll work on such a thin squad next season. I think we'll bring in all these quality players. But if we are going to have European competition, we'll start to see this squad, the squad fully being utilised, so we can rely heavily off Benrahma doesn't start one game, starts the next game. And a little bit like I've always said before, and I don't want to do West Ham an injustice here, but a little bit like Man City shop at Waitrose, West Ham shop at Aldi's and Lidl's, but we can find good quality players who can work in this mix-up together and do a job together. And we want, if you think about the Man City, when they kind of came away from playing big men up top and they had the likes of Silva and all the kind of small Nasri and all the small tricky midfielders, I wouldn't be surprised if we could do something like that moving forward. And I think that's something that Moyes wants to build as well. I could see us winning 3-1 on Thursday, and that would be okay. Happy, I'd say 2-0. If we get through to the quarters and semis, does anyone think the final will take the edge off the players? God, I don't know. Take the edge off everyone. I think we would just all be. I just think we'd be absolutely in shock. But I think Moyes is the right man to be able to manage that mentality as well. Hi, Hammers. Good feeling about Thursday 3-0 win. Thank you, Mikey. Good to see you. Fred is saying 3-1 will do on Thursday. Benny made some very smart plays defensively and took a throw in instead of trying to dribble out of trouble. Also, that pass for the goal set up the world-class stunning skill. Absolutely. Can you mention that Big Dawson is the much nuts? He's 32 in a few weeks and he's better than ever. Watford laughed when we got him. Everyone laughed. Even West Ham fans laughed when we got him. But look what he's doing. He's turning up week in and week out and doing a job. Anyway, that brings an end to today's show, the West Ham Daily. I do need to go back to work. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you can see from all the fixtures I've brought up for you there. You know, you've put your predictions in. Some of you predict that we will finish in the top 4. Some of you predict that we'll finish 7th. Is 7th good enough this season? Is 7th good enough this season? Would you be happy with that? Is that progression? What is that? You know, so we'll see. But anyway, I hope everyone is safe. Stay safe. Look after yourselves, and join us at 5 o'clock for the Hammers headlines, and then a My Hammers 11 tonight, a special My Hammers 11 tonight as well, so make sure you do join us. If you're interested in becoming a member, you can click on the option that says join along the bottom. If you're interested in subscribing to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Alongside that, there's a bell notification. Hit the bell notification. That'll notify you when we do, of course, do a show. Stay safe, everyone, and we'll see you back here at 5 o'clock. Come on, you irons.
It's like a family tree, part of you and part of